For the story that's breaking this evening, 2 policemen suicides now inside a week in Haryana have once again stirred a major national controversy. That's right, a second policeman has now committed suicide. An assistant sub-inspector has killed himself and called the ADGP who committed suicide a week ago a corrupt officer who was protecting his corruption by playing the Dalit caste card. The families of both the police have refused a post-mortem and a cremation. The police have moved court seeking permission for autopsy. This coming on a day when several leaders, including Rahul Gandhi, visited the house of the officer who had died by suicide to express their sympathy. So caste, cops and allegations of corruption. Our correspondent Kamaljeet Sandhu is joining me for the very latest now from Haryana. Kamaljeet, give us a sense of just what has happened. A second policeman has died by suicide. What is this all about? Okay, we'll try and go back to Kamaljeet in a moment, our correspondent there in Chandigarh. Remember, this is a case which, as I said, has now acquired a major national dimension because you've got 2 policemen, one a senior officer, a Dalit, who had alleged discrimination as a reason for committing suicide, and now a second official, an ASI, who claims that he was committing suicide because he was investigating the case and that the original officer who committed suicide was guilty of corruption. As I said, therefore, this is a case now that is tangled in caste, corruption and yes, politics. The Indian police service has not seen possibly a case like this. 2 officers have committed suicide inside a week in Haryana, and in both cases the entire issue is surrounded in mystery. Okay, remember, this case has now become a major political flashpoint. Today, leader of the opposition Rahul Gandhi visited Chandigarh. Also, the Lok Janshakti Party leader was Chirag Paswan was there. Both of them were there to condole with the family of the Dalit police officer Puran Kumar, who died by suicide last week. Why is this case becoming so big? Take a look at our top story.
Two suicides in a week jolt Haryana police. Days after Dalit IPS officer Y. Puran Kumar took his life alleging caste discrimination in service, an assistant sub-inspector from Cyber Cell allegedly died by suicide on Tuesday. Rohtak ASI Sandeep, who allegedly shot himself, left a note and video message claiming ADGP Puran Kumar was scared of getting arrested in a corruption case.
बिल्कुल सच्चाई सामने आनी चाहिए. इन्हें गलत कर रखा है, गलत का फल इनको मिलेगा.
The ASI was part of the investigation team that arrested ADGP Puran Kumar's PSO in an extortion case.
हमारा एक बहुत महकमे का मेहनती ASI था संदीप, बहुत ईमानदार और बहुत मेहनती मुलाजिम था. अभी एक सूचना मिली थी कि उसकी डेड बॉडी मिली है. अभी फॉरेंसिक की टीम बुला रखी है और जांच चल रही है.
परसों यहाँ पर आया हुआ था, तो ये वैसे तो कुछ लग नहीं रहा था, मैं ठीक ठाक बोल रहा था जी. उसी ने एक बात तो कह रहा था कि भाई हमको टॉर्चर किया जा रहा है इसके बारे में. भाई इसने इसका गनमैन कोई रिश्वत लेने पकड़ा था, ये साथ में था पकड़ने में. इसी ने पकड़ा था इसका गनमैन को जी, आई जी पुरन कुमार को. ऐसे और संदीप कुमार शहीद ना हो देश पे, इन भ्रष्ट अफसरों का इलाज करना चाहिए जनता ने, जैसे नेपाल में किया जी.
उसका सुसाइड करने का कोई जस्टिफिकेशन नहीं है, कोई औचित्य नहीं है और अननेसेसरी इस जो मूवमेंट है इसको डाइवर्सिफाइड करने के लिए, इसको डिवाइड करने के लिए जाट का मुद्दा बीच में उसने ले लिया है.
Incidentally, ADGP Puran Kumar was found dead with gunshot wounds at his residence on October 7. His suicide note detailed the alleged harassment and caste-based discrimination he faced in service over the years. He had alleged that DGP Shatrujeet Kapur was using Rohtak SP Narendra Bijarnia to implicate him in fabricated cases. The Dalit IPS officer's death has become a political flashpoint. Leader of the opposition Rahul Gandhi visited Puran Kumar's wife, IAS officer Amneet Kumar.
देश में करोड़ों दलित भाई बहन हैं, उनको गलत मैसेज जा रहा है कि आप कितने भी सक्सेसफुल हो, कितने भी इंटेलिजेंट हो, कितने भी कैपेबल हो, अगर आप दलित हो आपको दबाया जा सकता है और ये हमारे लिए एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं है.
BJP ally and NDA's Dalit face in Bihar, Chirag Paswan, too visited Puran Kumar's family.
इस परिवार को न्याय मिलेगा, ये मैं विश्वास दिलाता हूं. प्रधानमंत्री जी की तरफ से, गृह मंत्री जी की तरफ से, ये जितने भी दोषी हैं, भले वो कितने भी बड़े पद पर क्यों ना बैठे हों, उनके ऊपर सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई होगी.
Puran Kumar's family has refused post-mortem and cremation of body till their demand for the arrest of DGP Shatrujeet Kapur and SP Narendra Bijarnia is met. The Nayab Singh Saini government has sent the DGP on leave and removed SP Bijarnia from his post. OP Singh has taken charge as the acting DGP. With Kamaljeet Kaur Sandhu, Bureau Report, India Today.
2 policemen death by suicide inside a week. Joining me now is Kamaljeet Sandhu. She's our head of bureau in Chandigarh. Kamaljeet, just as the dust was settling down, or not even fully settling down, on one suicide involving an IPS officer, now an ASI commits suicide. What's going on? Is this now caste and corruption getting tangled in? Give us a sense of how the investigators are reading a second suicide.
Well, the skeletons are definitely out of the cupboard, and that is why what we see is one suicide after the other. The curious case of Rohtak suicide in particular talks about how there has been pressure to change the narrative, or at least balance the narrative of sorts, because remember, there were at least a dozen IS and IPS officers in the dock, especially DGP Shatrujeet Kapur, who have now been proceeded on leave. Thereafter, we have OP Singh in place, but also the SP Rohtak. Now, what is going on is there is a talk about how on the 6th there was a FIR against the gunman Sushil Kumar, and this is where this particular ASI was also part of the larger team. He was not the IO, but he was part of the investigating team. So something which could have related to the cyber cell itself. He was being at least Chandigarh police had it in mind to question the team which was really involved and whether there was any larger conspiracy related to that. But just before that, what we see is a suicide taking place. So obviously question mark being raised. And here is a family which is saying that there is a pressure coming in from corrupt officers. This also talk about that they are not willing to actually either have post-mortem or cremation done, something which why Puran Kumar family is also reiterating. So now there is a complicated situation, one in Chandigarh and one in Rohtak,
Right.
and each talking about the case itself. But remember, this also means that things have been going way too wrong. And this is where it's not just a power tussle, it's also about how the conspiracies, discrimination, all coming to light at once. And this is where many say it's not
Right.
about Chandigarh police, or for that matter, Haryana police to investigate. A larger investigation, perhaps by a central agency, could be the answer to this.
Okay, really, this is now turning out to be one of the most complicated stories one has heard of. As I repeat, you have one officer commit suicide, claims that this is because he was being harassed by senior officers. And now you have an ASI investigating allegations against corruption against the officer who committed suicide, saying he wanted the truth to come out and was therefore committing suicide because corruption needed to be exposed.